Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
So let's get to it.
Bring the pain!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah. Man, we're back at it again, Dan. Another week of fights. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm ready for my house to get put back together.
Yeah. Like, a nice long process of wildness going on and everything like that. But, man, I'm happy that the Fight Club of Pain is finally open. And we, of course, had a great card last week. Ended on the way we were going to talk about it. And everything's been hitting. And Sean Strickland is pushing huge for Chimov, man. He wants him.
Yeah.
You think that's do you think that's the only fight to make and screw Imavov?
I don't know. Make Imavov fight Strickland again. I really don't know.
I would go with that. I would say let's get those two to fight September, and then the winner of that fight, if in good condition, fights December. And I know that's what we don't predict. Me and you both said that we're looking at either September or October. So in those 2 months. So I think that's it. And like I said, we know it's one fight. So
if he even fights this year.
Exactly. So, everybody that's coming in right now or live, we are live right now. We're doing the Fight Club of Pain. We talk about the UFC. This week we have UFC Mexico. We're in Mexico City. We have a lot of hometown people fighting in this. We have a lot of soup cans fighting in this. We have some debuts. And then we have a really good card, a card that I thought we had last week, but this week has more opportunity to finally give us a card that has more finishes than distance. Do you agree with that, Dan?
This card, I see a lot of fights going the distance on this card. A lot of them.
Yeah. So right now I have 7 unders and 5 overs, and of course, of the 3 we were talking about this yesterday. Of the 3 fights we'll be covering today, 2 of them we practically have predicted to go over. I have predicted to go over, but we're going to make sure that we get that finished. We're going to figure out how to get that finished. I am all over the place with these earrings. I can't deal with this. I was about to finally get my wireless earbuds. The last time I tried to do that, it literally disconnected them. But then when we did a podcast on Tuesday, they worked fine. So then I'm like, oh, dude, so then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with this. Because, now I have the mixer involved, whereas out there I didn't have the mixer.
Yeah.
So, no, I had it in here. Anyway, let's get it going. Yeah, Chrissy had it. So, all right. So, before we get to the main 3 fights, are there any fights, I should say, that excite you on the prelims? Or
let me look them up. I don't have this card memorized, so. All right.
That's all right. And also, I can't keep this all. I can't keep my hands. Every time my hands go down, it's like they just pop out my ears. It's like I'm gonna go crazy.
But I mean that Macy Chias and Alan Perez fight looks pretty good. I like that one. The Turin and Karakate.
I think it's
Karakate. Yeah, but
you're right. You're Karakate. Yeah, Karakate. I think I said that right.
Karakate. Yeah, but that one, it's a catchweight fight, so you never know what's going to happen in catchweight fights. Mm-hmm. How you doing, Sophia? And thanks, Elliot.
What's up, y'all? Doing good. Elliot's popping in. Ready to get some MMA going on. Sophia popping in. Like, share, follow, people. Let's get going. Get over to Dr. Roto. We're going to have the 5-tastic picks will drop Saturday, and we're going to have so much more. Of course, this show is going to cover your bets, your parlays, your DFS lineups. we're going to give you a free lineup from DFS Hero. Use code word DOC at DFS Hero, and you will get 20% off of your subscription. Also, use code word WIN at Dr. Roto. You will get a percentage off of your subscription so you can get behind the paywall. Because I took 2 losses last week on the money line for the five-tastic picks, went 17-3 overall for the season. So that's what you're getting a piece of, plus all the great preseason baseball coverage. You got baseball drafts going on. And, of course, we have the NBA and NHL back into action. I had an injury happen last night. Murray took me out, took me right off my high horse. I was winning 2 nights in a row. I had all this money from the Olympics and everything, pulled it off. And now this is why I hate basketball. And here's the thing. I got set up, Dan. I got set up. This dude was questionable. Then before they even released the lineup, they put him as probable. I was like, oh, he good. He good. That dude got 5 points. What a punk. And that just further irritates me. Because it irritates me that basketball can't put a consistent product on the field or on the court. I'm so sick of it. I bitch about them every week.
Well, I mean, these guys are soft now. They play when they want to play. If they got a stomach ache, they don't play. I mean, I miss the 90s where the people played every game, no matter what.
Yeah, like actually cared about making making their team the best team ever, like winning games, trying to be dominant. So I was better. But now they're like, hey guys, let's take the day off. Woohoo! I'm like, okay. I feel bad for the fans that pay all the PLEs and all that money out. Yeah, that sucks.
I have not watched a basketball game in probably 10 years.
I'll agree with that. I mean, I have watched some basketball. I'll say that much. But honestly,
I mean, March Madness. I'll watch March Madness.
That'll be fun. And we have a great college team, the One and Done. They do a bunch of podcasts with us, and they're kind of linked up with us. And Mike Conley always goes on Dr. Roto. So you want to check him out and get over there, Mike's Money Picks. And I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. But yeah, so like they do a whole thing on that themselves. But for me and for you, we're here to talk some UFC. So you are right that Regina Tara, and she actually tried out for the WWE, which is crazy. Short notice. She is definitely good. You know, she is ready to take this fight. Ernesta was a bigger favorite. Now she's a smaller favorite. So that actually kind of worked to my angle. So that might be a target later in this podcast for either a DFS lineup or something like that. Also, I really like the Aylin Perez and Macy Chasson fight. So again, we're going to get Macy big, blumbering, doing some dumb stuff. If she gets laid on the mat, she's going to get it. I see Perez running through her. Of course, I don't see a finish in this. I see it going over on points. So I'm going to look for Perez. If right now I've been looking for takedowns, DraftKings is the only one putting out takedowns right now. And so if you want to get the takedowns for that fight, I'll get that actually for you. What do you like about this fight? Do you like Aylin Perez over Macy Chasson, or do you feel that Chasson can get the upset?
I like them both, man. I do. I like Macy Chasson. She's pretty good, but I mean, she, like you said, she does a lot of stupid things in the octagon that gets her caught. If she avoids those mistakes, there is a path to her winning.
Yeah. And actually, right now, I am wrong on that. DraftKings does not have the takedowns up yet. So that's the thing about, even though we wait. This is why we wait for Thursday. Sometimes we don't get a little action. Of course, I already have, like, on Sunday, when all the numbers were straight raw, I already have a ton of parlays and round robins already in with those numbers. Now, flipping it back, I get back over to this. They're hiding the takedowns because I'm going over 1.5 takedowns. If you can get over 1.5 takedowns by Aylin Perez, you might even be able to get over 2 takedowns. So if it goes 1.5 or 2, I would definitely take that, especially if it's in a positive money. If you could build that ladder 1, 2, 3, because I could see Perez landing 2 to 3 takedowns. Do you think that that's possible in this fight or no, Dan?
Yeah, it is possible, but Macy Chasson is so big for the weight class.
Yeah.
And she does have good takedown defense. But, I mean, I could see it. I could see her getting 2 takedowns. Yes.
Okay. Well, we agree with that. So that's how you're going to make money because, I mean, well, right now, Perez, negative 172. That's nice. Macy is a plus 134. I mean, those are actually like right now, the actual lines on DraftKings is negative 166 plus 140. So that being said, you can get you're going to be able to get some positive money on these takedowns. Like Dan said, he doesn't know because of Jason's size that she's going to be able to get 3 or 4 takedowns. So maybe we don't build that letter. Maybe we go 1 or 2 and we keep it safe. And maybe that 2 is a plus 150. It's not bad. That's how you make money. You take Perez, you get the money line, negative 166, right? And then you throw in you takedowns, you make a little extra money. Now, you brought up the the Kavanagh.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man.
I had it looking like a V too. So anyway, we look at this fight, and of course I have her winning, and so I'm going to be attacking the significant strikes on Ernesta's side, and Kavanagh, I said it, is going to be able to, I feel, to outstrike Regina Tarn, and so that's going to be easy money, and you're going to be able to take that negative. At the time right now, she is a negative 170. Take the 170, go on that. Also do the 170 money line distance, and you will get, let's get this. This is free bets, people. You're not going to get distance on DraftKings right now. So just take the 170. I can guarantee you. If you take the 170, the distance, yes, the distance is probably going to be a negative 300, maybe even 250. It could be negative 350. That'll bring that 170 will bring it up to maybe negative 115 or a positive 115. So don't quote me on that. It's not available yet. Again, even Thursday, we still don't have these bets.
Ken Vick.
Ken Vick. What's up, dude? I see you. I went and followed you on the YouTube because I figured I was messing around. I was doing some extra stuff. And I was like, oh, look, it's Ken Vick. So I was like, follow, man. So you got that follow, man. Let's go. Let's have fun.
Hey, when's he coming on the show?
I don't know, man. I don't know when he's coming on. He's going to have to wear those sunglasses in his little picture right here if that's him. but Ken, we won't bite, bruh. We won't bite. We won't bite.
Come on, man.
But so, all right. So do you want to save we never really talked about this. Do you want to save the highlighted fight to the end or just do the highlighted fight now and of course end with the...
Nah, we'll save it for the last one. Why not?
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to it, everybody. Let's get to UFC Mexico, Moreno vs. Kavanagh. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I am a kid, but I'd be happy to join.
Okay. Well, we'll respect that because, there's definitely some signatures that would be needed. So, yeah. But we still love you, brother, man. And one day when you're old enough to bet and do some crazy stuff, you can come on and bring the pain. Oh, yeah. I promise you, bro. I promise you. All right. Let's get to it. In this corner, we've got the warrior, the man that digs from deep down, Chito Vera. And in this corner, we have one of the fastest rising stars in the UFC today, David Martinez. Dan, talk about it.
All right, man. I'm going to start with David Martinez. He's 13-1 in his MMA career. He's 2-0 inside the UFC. He got 10 knockouts, and he's on an 8-fight winning streak. He has a high-paced combination-heavy offense, and he loves to control the pace of the fight. Look for Martinez to stay in the pocket, push the pace, and try to overwhelm Chito with those combinations. Chito Vera, man, while and after fighting Sean O'Malley for the title, he's been a punching bag, going 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Chito is durable, though, man, and he's never been finished. He's grinded in the octagon with the division's best. He works the body wells, throws mean calf kicks, and tends to surge late in fights. Watch for Cheeto's clinch work also, and cage pushing, where he can utilize his knees, elbows, along with submission attacks.
Woo-wee, like a hot candle. Like a hot candle. We coming in hot, Dan. I love it, man. And I love David Martinez in this fight. You are correct. Even though some people say he might be a little small for this division, it doesn't matter. It's not about the size, people. We all know it's about the fight and the dog, right? So David Martinez is going to dictate this pace because Cheeto always starts slow. That's why Dan brought up that Cheeto is one of those guys that is one of those guys that gets stronger as the fight goes. So therefore, a lot of my action for Cheeto is going to be late. It's going to be late action for Cheeto. Now, I do think Cheeto can and has a chance to knock out David Martinez, but I just haven't seen enough of Cheeto recently to actually do anything. And it's almost like it's like that meme where the guy's poking something with a stick. We need a fire under him. What do you think is with Vera, Dan?
Do something. He's always been notoriously slow starter, man. Yes, Sean O'Malley used to be good. I am not a fan, but Rob is.
He keeps losing since I've been a fan. I should stop being a fan and maybe he'll win. So in this fight, let's hit those numbers real quick. And then because these numbers kind of tell a story. Distance, yes, is negative 360. Everybody thinks this is going over. I think it's going over. Knockout plus 370. I love that. I do love the 370. I'm going to be playing a unit on that as well. Also, the sub plus 1100. When I get to the sub, Cheeto Vera's sub in this is literally, where'd it go? There it is. Cheeto Vera's sub is, I don't know why it didn't pop up. It's 1400 just for him, but it's 1100 for both guys. And both guys definitely are a threat to choke people out. Cheeto has a ton of early chokeouts, but he hasn't been that recently. Like you said, he's been more of a punching bag. So then when I flip it back and I looked at the decision, no bets, you got Cheeto on the negative 118, love it, and you got Martinez on the 108. But let's run through the Cheeto side. Second and third round knockout is a plus 1600. Knockout in points. If Cheeto's going to win, I think the safest for him is knockout in points plus 300. I just said decision, no bet, negative 118. Points for Cheeto to win. If he got stronger later and was able to knock around Martinez, get the cage push that you were talking about, Dan, get the points on the cage, get the control. Sometimes we don't know about Mexico, right? Boom. Now we got that distance. Yes. Money line and distance, yes, for Cheeto is a plus 434. So I'm rolling knockout points. I'm rolling decision, no bets. I did take the plus 1400. But if you don't want to take any of that, you just want to be safe on both fighters, keep it simple, plus 1100 on sub. Under 2.5 rounds is plus 300. I threw a unit on it. I think David Martinez is going to finish Cheeto Vera. So you already know I'm taking David Martinez. Martinez points, negative 175. Knockout, plus 650. Give me that. Give me that. Money line, distance, yes, plus 194. Decision, no bet. What away, just like I said, knockout, 290. And a third round or decision bet on Martinez is negative 220. This fight is going over. There's some money to make on knockouts. What do you think those numbers are telling us, Dan?
I think everybody thinks this is going the distance, man.
I think you're right. Who do you have winning, and what is your method?
I don't think he has the power to knock out Cheeto Vera because Cheeto Vera has never been finished. He's been in there with the likes of Sean O'Malley, Jose Aldo. You name them, Cheeto Vera has fought them, and big punchers, not ones like Martinez, man. David Martinez wins by decision.
Will lose by decision.
No, wins by decision.
Okay. So then there we go. We got the money line in distance. Yes, that's the negative 194. Now, again, if you want to be safe and say you just don't want to take a side, put the unit on knockout, put the unit on sub, you get the plus 370, you get plus 1100. and then flip it over, hit knockout, or maybe just sub. Maybe you want to do the sub and points, which sub and points for Martinez is a negative 600. Knockout and submission is plus 600 as well too. So the negative 200 on sub and points, that doesn't really tempt me at this point. With Martinez being a negative 295, well, at the time he's now a negative 330. When I got these bets, he was a negative 295. So with that being said, I think knockout and points at negative 290, it's all about the same. We're gonna have some action on finish. We're gonna play on David Martinez. I like it, Dan. It's one of those fights, man. It's we could get a fight of the night if Chito Vera is actually active in the first round and throughout the entire fight, right?
Right. If Chito decides to fight like in the first 2 minutes of every round, then this could go pretty bad for Martinez.
Yeah. And when we get to our highlighted fight of the night, there's a big. We definitely have some ideas of how that fight's going to end, and there's a lot of money to be made on the one side, and so if that fall happens again, that money's going to be made. But man, I like it. So let's get to it. Let's get to the main event before we get to the highlight. Let's get to Brandon Moreno versus Lone'er Kavanagh. Dan, talk about it.
I'm going to start with the young guy, Lone'er Kavanagh, man. He's 4-1 in his last 5, and he's 2-1 in the UFC. He's also looking to bounce back from his first UFC loss, but he's stepping into the biggest fight on his career on only 3 weeks' notice, man. Kavanagh's quick and elusive, and he's very active. He likes to dart in and out of the pocket, throw combinations, and move. He doesn't stay in one place very long. Brandon Moreno, what can I say about him? He's 2-3 in his last 5, but he's looking to get back to his winning ways after dropping his last fight to Tyara. That was a hell of a submission that he got caught in that last fight. He's a multiple-time champ in the UFC, and he holds worlds of experience over Kavanagh. I mean, he's been in wars in the octagon. He was training a lot with his wrestling since Almabayev was supposed to be his opponent.
Yeah.
But now look for Moreno to be calm, composed, use that Mexican boxing style, and try to keep Kavanagh inside the pocket.
I love everything you said about this. When dissecting both fighters, of course, between the two, I would say that Kavanagh can be the more aggressive, but Moreno loves to bait people. So I feel that baiting could come off as maybe not as active, but that's because he's going to be setting up Kavanagh. You are right. He did get caught by Tiara, and that was just a bad luck, right? But at the same time, when we're looking at Moreno, we're looking at his boxing style that he's going to win. This right here, he was preparing for a wrestler. Kavanagh, it has wrestling background, but he doesn't do it. He doesn't really care to do it. He looks to more so come down that middle, right?
Right.
So
Brandon Moreno always comes down the middle. He doesn't throw looping shots. And Kavanagh's kind of the same way, but Kavanagh uses awkward angles when he throws.
Okay. So yeah, that would be more like what I do in my point fighting when I try, because I have to use angles and a lot of stuff like that, especially with somebody that's as like straightforward. Do you think Moreno's body kicks are going to make a difference in this? Do you think he'll be able to? Because now we have Kavanagh with he gasses. We see him gas. In his last fight too, when he got knocked out by Charles Johnson, he looked bad. And it was that round where he was stumbling was where he got caught. So for me, the higher elevation, a lot of people have been talking about the higher elevation. I don't think that plays well into Kavanagh's tank. Do you agree?
I agree with you. And Moreno loves to work the body. He loves to throw that body kick. He loves to throw teep kicks. And when they're in the pocket, his combinations always have one to the body. Always.
So that being said, that right there tells me that even though I feel this fight goes over, I feel that there is a chance for a finish in this fight. And I already have it mapped out and put down because I feel, and I'll hit these numbers real quick. Distance, no, and yes, are rated 100. But distance, no, negative 108. Knockout, plus 210. Got that. Sub, plus 340. Got that. Under 4.5 rounds is a plus 106. Got that. On the Kavanagh side, decision, no bet is a plus 184. I threw that down. I like that. I have Kavanagh. I don't feel at all he's going to be able to submit Moreno like Tyra was supposed could submit Moreno. Moreno's not playing that. You brought that up. He trained for a wrestler. He's going to try to go for a wrestler. Bang. Right? Knockout and points, plus 180. So play the decision no bet if you like the Kavanagh side, along with the knockout points. However, knockout plus 500 for Kavanagh is kind of juicy. I'm going to throw down, I threw down a half a unit on that already. Might throw more. Kavanagh, I feel he's going to have to punk Moreno fast. He's going to have to start fast. He's going to have to get him out fast. Because if he doesn't, he's going to gas. Like we just said, 1, 2, 3 knockout is plus 800. But I'm going to tell you this, man. When I get over here to the Moreno side and I see the second, third, fourth round is plus 700, decision no bet is negative 240. I see a knockout 2, 3, 4 plus 850 on the Moreno side. Knockouts up plus 170. Knockout points 110. Yes, got that. Points 185. Knockout for Moreno is plus 470. Takedowns over 1.5. Yeah, they gave me a takedown for Moreno. I think he can take down Kavanagh 2 times in this fight. Plus 100. Let's build some ladders with that. But you know what? Even the 60 seconds win is a plus 3,400. So I'm throwing me a half unit on that because I want some action on that. I was trying to go for total significant strikes. The significant strikes that we have Moreno, because they have this fight going over, is 91.5. Before I explain why I have these numbers and what round I'm looking at and we get to your pick, do you think Brandon Moreno is going to go over 91.5 significant strikes in this fight?
It's a 5-round fight, and if it lasts all 5, absolutely.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And for me, that's again comes back to that was on DraftKings. That was a negative or a positive 115. It was right there in the middle. And for me, that seems too safe. That seems too safe. So like I said, as these numbers come in, people, that's why being part of Dr. Roto's Subs Only Discord or hitting us up on the X at, Dan Vick here, the Loose Cannon, or Heat Override, that we can help you with that. Of course, everything we like to keep for the subs in the subs because those are the people that make Dr. Roto possible. So thanks to all those people. But besides that, I love the fact of a finish in this. But Dan, who do you got winning and what means is it?
So, man, I think Moreno's going to control the fight all 5 rounds behind his jab, his body work, and his superior boxing. I don't see any way Kavanagh wins this fight if he keeps it standing. I got Moreno winning by decision.
I love it. I love it. So we already gave out the money line. I actually never gave out the money line. So Brandon Moreno, money line and distance, yes, is a plus 160. Points is a plus 185. I'm going to throw all that action. I'm throwing it down. I'm actually going to make that bet right now too, because I didn't make that bet yet, but now I did. And so I love that. I love that that means practically my knockout in points is alive at negative 110. And this was my theory. I know that this fight can go the distance. So if you feel that's going to distance and that we're going to have a late round finish, then when it's available, it's right here. Rounds 4, 5, or by decision is plus 110 for Moreno. I love that. I love that because I feel that the finish is going to come in round 3. I think there's a round 3 finish, and the round 3 finish is going to be Moreno, and he's going to knock out Kavanagh. He's going to knock him out. So that is why I'm heavy. We're going to give you the knockout third. I know, dude. I want some blood. And you know who's going to give me that blood? Moreno. Because Moreno just watched Tyra beat him the way he did and get a title shot. And Moreno would love to go at him because him and Raval And what Reval and Van did, Moreno would love to do with Van, especially add that wrestling aspect. So for me, that's what I'm going to go with. That's how I'm going to look at it. And let's get that bet. Dan, what do you think about that? Do you think he can get the third round knockout?
Yeah, I think he can because look what he did to Figueiredo when in their multiple fights. I mean, he was knocked out by Figueiredo. He knocked out Figueiredo. I think he actually finished Figueiredo twice in their title fights. Don't quote me on that. I know he beat him twice, but Moreno does have the power that a lot of people don't think he has.
I agree with that. And the reason is because you can't ever doubt an actual good boxer. People go, oh, well, this doesn't count because he has to have power. No. So let me explain to you. I am practically a lightweight. I'm fighting a guy that's bigger than me. He jumps up in the air and comes down, and I pop him. Technically, by people's weight and standard and how a lightweight hitting a middleweight, I shouldn't be able to knock out a middleweight. Yet I did. It comes down to the hit, the boxing, the crispness. It's not about the power. It's about the delivery. And that's what people forget sometimes.
I agree.
So go on.
No, I just said I agree with you.
So the round 3 doctor stoppage against Figueiredo, and then it was a decision unanimous for Figueiredo against Moreno. But before that, Moreno subbed Figueiredo.
Yeah.
So he's 2-1. But two finishes, and then he lost by distance. So that would be probably the best way. And that's why I'm looking at this, is that if Kavanagh tries to get to that down and dirty because he feels that Moreno was exposed by Taira, again, short camp, doesn't really matter. I know Kavanagh can do it, but he tried to box with a boxer. He's going to box with a boxer again. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you don't do. Look how many people lose to Ilia Topuria because they try to stand up and box with him.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. So we got that. And that third round knockout, by the way, is a plus 2,500. Is we can get that third round knockout plus 2,500. Look, I'm even sick. I'm sick. I'll go. I'm checking the submission round 3 too. So the submission round 3 is plus 2,000. So they think the submission is more likely to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. So that's why I do like the knock. What's that?
Moreno does have more submission victories than knockout victories. So
there it goes. And so we'll be putting a quarter of a unit on that. So right there, either one of those don't have to hit. But what has to hit is the points. And the points will make all the money back for the chances that we take at the plus 2,500s. And that's what we do. So before we move on and we get to the next fight, so something we did last time, we did a community. We did with Walker when Walker was on. We did a community parlay. So I kind of like that. But when we get to the end of this, before we do the Parlay of Pain and the DFS numbers, maybe let's do that. Let's come to a collective agreement on these 3 fights. We'll hit it. We're pretty close already on it.
Well, we didn't cover the last fight yet.
No, we didn't. So that's going to happen after this, right?
Yeah.
So let's throw something together. It'll be a 3-leg parlay. It'll be extra for everybody. And that's something kind of like we got out there. If D1 Prime, if you want to add a leg, put it in the chat. Put any of these fights, put it in the chat, and we'll make a special 4-leg parlay with your thing. All right. Let's get to it. Let's get to the
highlighted night of fight. Oh yeah, Macho Man's coming in backwards like a fool. But guess what? Only fools go against Macho Man when it's time for the highlighted match of the night. Oh yeah.
In this corner, we have the return, the rebirth, Daniel Zellhuber. And in this corner, we have the man formerly known as Bobby, but now a king because of a win. Green. Dan, defend your fighter.
All right, you gave me Bobby King Green this week, man. He's one of the most entertaining fighters on the roster, man. I love watching this guy fight, win or lose. He brings it every time. He's faced the who's who in his 13-year UFC career. Thompson, Poirier, Guida, Fiziev, Iaquinta, Makachev, Ferguson, Dober, Pimblett, Rufy. He's fought them all. Even though he doesn't always come out victorious, King Green always brings his fast, flashy, boxing-heavy style and tries to bang it out with everybody. Look for Green to pressure from the opening bell and force Zellhuber into a fist fight. King Green is dangerous late in rounds when other fighters try to take a little bit time off, and when he feels loose. If you let him connect with his first few jabs, he starts to get loose. Look for quick jabs, check hooks, and to look for quick jabs and check hooks to find the mark early for King Green.
Let me defend Daniel Zellhuber. We're talking about the Golden Boy. He even looks like one. Daniel LaRusso looking, the Karate Kid. Yeah. From Team Extreme Couture, 15-3, 7 knockouts, 3 subs, 5 decisions. He got the fight of the year for 2024 against Ribovics. His first fight in September 24th, 2016 was a technical knockout over Sergio Vasquez. He later went on to the Dana White Contender Series and fought Lucas Almeida. My client, Kavanagh, is coming off one of the worst losses last year when your guy, the soup can of the week, Michael Johnson, put the Philly shell and the Philly beating on the Golden Boy. The Golden Boy was stumped. He threw head kicks. I took him back to the gym. I slapped him around. I said, you can't be throwing head kicks anymore. But a head kick knocked out Bobby Green before he became King Green. And now my client looks to do the same. Dan, let's talk about this fight. I love what you...
So when is the Zellhuber experiment going to be over? This man is 3-3. He was supposed to be the next big thing.
Right.
So is this the fight? If he loses this fight, is the experiment over? Are we done seeing him on every other card?
Do you think what you just said right there, do you think he could get cut after this if he loses?
I don't think he can get cut, but I don't think they're going to give him high-profile fights anymore, and they're not going to put him on main cards anymore.
So then he can go fight. He could probably go down to Bellator or whatever, not PFL, and fight Patchy Mix.
No, Zellhuber's better than Patchy. I mean, I could jump in there and do better than Patchy Mix.
Yeah, right. So I like what you said about King Green, right? So when I saw this hit, I went right to the books. I said, yo, they had King Green at a plus 320, just went it right there. Now, I know Zellhuber, right? He went up there and he stunk it up. And it was crazy about that because when they went to the corner and they were in his corner, his coach goes, you can't continue to throw head kicks. And he went right out there and he threw a head kick. The first thing he did was throw a head kick. It was so stupid. And I know that the only thing that worries me about King Green, other than people, the chin and all that stuff, I don't care about that. It's the way he showboats sometimes. I don't know if Zellhuber is going to let that happen, especially after what happened with Johnson. But as we saw, when Zellhuber gets in and when people get inside Zellhuber, and Johnson was longer than Zellhuber pretty much with his striking, right? When he got inside, he got knocked the hell out, man. Yep. So what do you think about that going in that angle with Green?
The thing is, when Bobby Green fights long too, or King Green fights really long. He throws that jab from outside. You don't know what angle it's coming from because he keeps his hands low. Mm-hmm. You never know where that jab is coming from, and he throws that jab constantly. So Zellhuber might get picked apart on the outside and try to go inside. And King Green is still one of the fastest people on throwing punches on the UFC roster. So I would not want to stand in the pocket with that man.
Yeah. So again, going back to that was like one of the first things when we started doing the Fight Club of Pain at this time last year. You talked about, one of your favorite fighters being Bobby Green, and then eventually he was right there. And it's because of the boxing. So we're going to hit up these numbers real quick, right? So we'll hit up the Zellhuber side. First and second round knockout plus 230. Second and third round knockout plus 370. I actually like both of that. I'm throwing a half unit on both those because I want a little action. Now, I don't think that he can get the sub off, but I'm going to go with a sub 2-3 quarter of a unit plus 1,300. I do like that action. I didn't give the actual distance. No, for this fight is negative 124. I love that. I love that right there because I don't know how this fight goes the distance. This Zellhuber has something to prove. And King Green already went the distance in a fight he could have won. He could have beat.
He did win.
Yeah, but he could have knocked him out, is what I meant.
Yeah,
he could have knocked Vincent Jr. out.
Oh yeah.
So when I look at it, what's even more disgusting about Zellhuber is this decision no bet is a negative 950. Negative 950? Are you out of your mind? I get that Green can be finished, but is Zellhuber going to be even inspired to finish him? I mean, so money line and distance, yes, plus 143. I think right now the safest bet for Daniel Zellhuber's knockout points negative 280. I do like a third round knockout, but a round 3 decision or round 3 and then a decision win for Zellhuber is plus 100. A round 3 knockout is round 3 is plus 122 on the King Green side. Before that, under 2.5 rounds, plus 102. Knockout for the fight, plus 125. Sub, plus 600. So if you don't want to mess around with any subs, throw the money because King Green can sub, right?
Yeah.
You said he's great with BJJ, right?
Yeah, he's a brown belt. He's a BJJ brown belt.
So that being said, there is a chance for that. So instead of just playing, which Green's sublines are insane. They're insane. His subline for second to third round is plus 5,500. I'm taking the bet, bro. I'm putting a quarter unit on it. I don't even give a crap, man. I'm throwing that in because that right there is just a lot plus 550 but 5,500, I should say. Decision no bet for King Green plus 540. I'm putting a full unit on that. Knockout second and third round. Let me see. Charles Johnson knocked him out late. Zellhuber, that is. Plus 2,800. 20 is 2,500. Let's get that right. 2,500. Knockout for King Green. Just knockout. Plus 1,200. Plus 1,200. Knockout in points. Plus 400. If King Green, if you play one bet on a King Green side, just play knockout in points. That's it. Just play knockout in points. You get a plus 400. It's a possibility. But man, his round 3 plus win by decisions also plus 500. These numbers are so blown up. They just think that Daniel Zellhuber is going to get his redemption. Dan, those numbers, what do you think?
And everybody thinks he's just going to walk through Bobby Green. Everybody thinks he's just going to walk through King Green. And that's a stupid mistake because Zellhuber hopefully he's figured out the Philly shell. Because I brought it up against Michael Johnson, and Michael Johnson was supposed to get beat down in that fight. I'm bringing it up again in this King Green fight. If he did not figure out that Philly shell defense, he is not going to win this fight.
I agree with that 100%. I'm going in on that too. And that's why I think that King Green is one of the biggest underdogs in DFS because even if he goes distance, he's most likely still going to outstrike Zellhuber.
Mm-hmm.
All he has to do is just not get knocked out with the head kick. And he figured that out, how to not get knocked out. Now he has confidence. He showboated a lot, which kind of bothered me, but he showboated a lot in the Gibson fight as well, too. So who you got winning and by what?
I think experience is a big thing, and I think the way people fight is a big thing. Bobby Green's defense standing up. I do not think Zellhuber has figured out the Philly shell defense because they probably have not brought in a boxer to show them how to beat it.
Yeah.
I got King Green winning by second round knockout.
Woo, woo, woo. Love it. All right. Well, as we all know, second round knockout is plus 3,500. And I am taking that. The fact that we can play both of these sides, get a lot of money, and get positive on both sides, but just like you could literally play a quarter of a unit on everything on the King Green side. You could literally play a quarter on everything and be out $1.50, but have a chance at literally like $30 off of $1.25 because of these numbers being so bloated on the King Green side. This was hard for me because
you like Zellhuber.
I do like Zellhuber. I liked Zellhuber, and he's let me down. But I'm playing heavy on Bobby Green's side, but I feel that the safest bet, I'm taking Daniel Zellhuber to figure it out, and my method's going to be the bet I'm going to play is knockout in points, negative 280. It's not the best bet. It's a little better than his negative 520, but it gives him that extra. But for me, if you just want to be safe and you think it's going to go the distance, I think the round 3 and decision for plus 100 is nice on the Zellhuber side. And then Zellhuber just winning by points is a plus 175. So we're going to take those little bets and then we're going to play heavy on the King Green side. But I feel King Green's going to win this fight. I'm taking Zellhuber because statistically the numbers say he should win this fight. But once he doesn't figure out that Philly shell, King Green's going to win this fight, Dan.
The numbers also said that he would beat the brakes off of Michael Johnson. Look what happened.
I know. So if the numbers are wrong twice, this only proves that fight theory is more important than numbers and a computer. So get off your numbers. What's up, Diamond Bueno? How you doing today? Yeah, Diamond's been through a few times, so it's good to see you come through. We actually just got done doing the 3 fights. We just gave out, well, a lot of bets that are going to make a lot of people money. And it's been a long day. Man, work must have got you out, huh?
He said been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time since he's been here.
Yeah, I think the last time I seen you was maybe one of the Tuesday shows, maybe the NFL. I just remember your name. So, I do want to say thank you for popping back through as well, too, and just getting into it. We're about to get into the DFS section. This is where we're going to give out the Parlay of Pain, the Soup Can of the Week. We're going to do our 3-leg parlay. And since we're fresh off the 3 fights, so let's do our parlay. How do you think the Green fight ends?
I said Bobby Green by a second round knockout.
So we both agree a knockout's going to happen then?
Yeah.
All right. Plus 130. Chito Vera versus David Martinez. You said...
I said Chito Vera loses by decision. Martinez wins by decision.
Got it. So let's do it. So this is where we're gonna fool the sports book. So Martinez points is only a negative 175. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over alt round betting, go down to that's where we get round 3 knockout or by decision is a negative 210. So for me, I think that we'll stick with his points at 175. We'll get better at that. But if you do want to sway off of that, I wouldn't mind getting the points the decision in round 3 because that negative 210 does give us exposure to that. But that's not what we're doing. So let's get to that. Method of victory, Martinez points. Boom, we're at plus 261. All right, let's get over to Moreno versus Kavanagh. How's this fight end?
I think Moreno destroys him. I think he wins all 5 rounds. I think he wins by decision.
Yep.
Unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision. Hold on here. Now let's give that. So when we add Moreno by points, it's a plus 185. they don't think that this is going to go to points. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it kind of does that craziness, and just like they give that points up, even though they think it's going to go to distance. You throw the points in, and you get that, and that right there alone is just wrong. So that right there is a plus 930, and this is going to be. We're going to read it back. Knockout for the Zellhuber Green fight. Martinez by points, Moreno by points. Get a plus 130, a negative 175, a plus 185. Makes it for a plus 930. We're going to round robin that, right? And then we're going to triple tap that. Bang. I love that. That's what I need to do more often, is make those little cool ones like that. Because I honestly, I just make my 5-leg parlays, and then that just takes care of like 100 bets for me, and then I just go away and I don't really do anything till game day. But I like that bet. I think we can hit that bet, Dan.
I agree.
Yeah. And that's a plus 930, and that's just on the fly. So all that, get it on. All right. Well, let's do a little bit of the DFS section before we get to the soup can of the week. So DFS will hit my ranking this week. The 4 fighters that should be and will most likely be on winning lineups will be Moreno, Gandra, Luna, and Schultz. Wes Schultz. Yeah. We're looking for some takedown, peoples. We need takedowns. That's all we need. And penis not to knock him out. And that's how you say his name. So don't anybody get any. Yeah, unfortunately. You know, his name is Damian Penis.
I feel sorry for that man.
Yeah, I know, right? Can you imagine if he was a teacher? Mr. Penis. Mr. Penis. Hey, that's what we do here. So DFS Hero likes penis. So in the simulated, I can't. Tom, I'm sorry. Maybe you don't like that. I just can't get, this is why you can only get this in unit. Okay. The computer simulated lineup is Moreno, Penis, Rodriguez, Reyes, Green, and Chasson. So they like your Chasson.
I thought it was funny that you just said I like penis.
Oh man, dude!
You really just said live that you like penis.
Well, when we have to talk about the fights, we have to talk about the fights. Cheers, everybody! Let's have some fun.
Cheers. My face all red from laughing.
It is a little bit. I am hot as hell from that. All right, well, there's going to be no penis in my lineup. But I like Gandra, Luna, Moreno, Green, Schultz, and Andrade. I think Andrade is going to be a lot of people like Javier Reyes. That fight is cut down the middle, but if that I have that fight is going over. So if I can get Andrade to at least go the distance, and at the beginning he's still a plus 190. So for me, I'll tell you what too. Andrade knockout and submission at plus 420 or 440. We're definitely gonna be hitting that as well too. But I love I still can't get that. That's my humanly created lineup for DFS on DraftKings. Gandra, Luna, Moreno, Green, Schultz, Andrade, get the penis out.
No penis.
It'd just be bad.
No
but
penis.
that's his name. Damien Penoir. We call him Penoir.
Yeah.
All right. If you're somewhat sane, Dan, who is the soup can of the week?
All right, man. The only person I could think of on this card, my soup can of the week, is Chris Maltino. He's the first and last person I had to look for. I mean, this man is not particularly good anywhere. His UFC career has been 3 straight losses. Not just losses, though. Chris has had the shit kicked out of him in every fight. I mean, look for the human punching bag, Chris Montano, to get another whooping this week and lose by TKO, man.
Oh man, I love that you said that because it plays perfectly into the Parlay of Pain. Ooh yeah, let's do it. 5 legs. We're going crazy. Throwing in one money lineup this week, but we're gonna round robin this as well. We're going Carrot Cake. Money line, negative 196. I like that 196 a little better than negative 330. I'll take that. We're going Marshall fight. Francis Marshall by knockout and sub is a negative 240. This was a hard card to find some wild stuff to put together to be safe, but I think Francis Marshall could get it done. We're going to go the Quinonez against your soup can. Knockout and sub, negative 190. I did look at the knockout in the first and second round. It was a plus 115. I went with the 190 because Quinonez does like to do subs, and sometimes I get burned, and I'm trying to not get burned for 1 and 4 this week with the Parlay of Pain. That brings it up to a plus 226 as 3 legs. Kind of sucks. It's not going to be as big as a Parlay of Pain, but hopefully we can hit it, go 5-0, and return all this money. I got Imanol Rodriguez, first and second round win, right? Because that gave me a plus 105. That gave me exposure to both his submission ability and his knockout ability, which his knockout and submission, I think, was a negative 280. So I had to go over there. And going back to the Bobby Green fight, we're going to make a king out of him one day. Distance, no, is a negative 132. That brings up to the 5th leg of 1,076, not the 2,376 we got last week, but a little safer. We have a chance for finishes and a win in this fight on this one, and I think that's a little more solid to get back on track with the Parlay of Pain. Do you like it, Dan?
I like it a lot, man. I think those are good bets.
Are you a fan of Francis Marshall taking on Eric Silva?
I do like that fight, man. I do like that fight. I think Marshall can pull off a win in that.
So
I think it's going to be a tougher fight than a lot of people think.
Yeah, and last time, of course, you know, he beat the shit out of Myron Santos, but Myron Santos won that fight.
Yeah,
and we talked about that. I flipped out about it, but I was fine because I did recommend Santos that week, but he was robbed. But before that Bushka fight, he went to split decision, and then when he rolled up against Mr. I sold my soul to the devil, you can buy me, Isaac Dalgarian, he beat Marshall. He knocked him out in the first round. So Marshall's coming in. This is one of those things that we're kind of like Kavanagh. This is almost a defining moment. He needs to go out there. Eric Silva's been off since his injury, since his last fight. Yeah. He needs to finish Silva and put himself back on the map.
I agree with everything you said. I just think it's going to be a lot tougher than his last fight or the fight that we were talking about where he got robbed. Because, I mean, I think it's going to be a lot tougher of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think he could win this, and I do believe he could win it by knockout.
Yeah, and that's I really think, and I really do like the first and second round knockout for Francis Marshall, but I wanted exposure on both. And with that number, the negative 240, it was nice. I also looked at the first and second round, kind of like what I did with Imanol Rodriguez, and I think I got a plus 115 on that. So, you know, I still have that exposure to the first and second round. At the same time, I mean, I'll give up the updated lineups right now for the Francis Marshall lineup, and his knockout for first and second round is a plus 380. So that means his alt rounds, Francis Marshall, round 1 or 2 just win, is a negative 145. So right there, they're telling you, look, when we just got a positive 105 for Imanol Rodriguez, who has had a finish in every one of his fights, then when you see a negative 145 on the Francis Marshall side, that first and second round knockout's going to happen. And for me, I'm playing that. I'm playing that right now. I'm hitting it plus 380. And hey, they tried to throw in some Douglas Andrade Silva. Let's do that. Let's also do that too. We're gonna do Douglas Silva Andrade by knockout and submission plus 440, and we're doing Francis Marshall to win by first and second round knockout for plus 380. That's a plus 2492, and I love that as well for a bet. This is what we do, man. We just find. We find fights and we make them happen, man, and we will that shit to reality. Are you excited for Moreno? Do you think that if Moreno wins this fight, do you think that how many more? I guess what I'm getting at is, do you think Moreno ever gets another title shot?
I think he has to go on a winning streak. I think he has to win like maybe 3 more. This fight and two after that to even get even in contention for the flyweight title. There's a lot of people that deserve it other than Moreno, and like I said, he's lost 3 out of his last 5.
Yeah, and especially too, he's been knocked.
Yeah, he got finished twice.
Yeah,
he got finished twice in those 3 fights.
Awesome. So, is there anything else for this card you want to talk about? You want to talk about something else before we get into some closeout stuff?
No, that's fine. I think we covered a lot on this.
I mean, we put it out there. So, this is going to be the last Fight Club of Pain for season 8. So season 9 will start. I will end. I'm trying to think of something to do for Tuesday. So I'm thinking about just doing the season ending podcast for Tuesday and just kind of a kick around one, make it really short, sweet, just say thank you. Of course, on Thursday next week, the Fight Club of Pain will not be live because I will have had surgery that day. So I may not be back to it the week after, but definitely I should feel better. I'll be out of work, so I'll be able to put in a lot of time. I did think about trying to do the Fight Club of Pain early, but then that means we would have to do the Fight Club of Pain on Tuesday. And by then, we're not going to have any numbers. We're not going to have anything to really go off of other than just picks.
On Tuesday, we could do the picks because it's 326 on March 7th. It's Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
RDR versus Barral. Rob Font versus Rojas Jr. I mean, we can cover it on Tuesday if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. So that's going to be practically not like a regular Fight Club because we'll still have you do like the intros and stuff, but of course we'll have to start at 8:00 that night, and then we'll flip it back and we'll just keep it because I already know I don't even think FanDuel will even have a DraftKings lineup or a FanDuel will even have a DFS lineup out by then, but DraftKings will. So because that's a pretty big event, so they might get it out a little early, but we're not going to get it. So we'll suggest things like what we do, but we'll be unable to most likely give any kind of numbers or anything like that. So there'll be no Parlay of Pain. Most likely there'll be no DFS. I will give you a DFS ranking. There will be no DFS hero. They sometimes don't get around to that till late week, and for good reason. It wasn't there yesterday. The DFS hero lineup was here today. And so whatever that caused. And so for me, I think that'll be a nice show just to put together so at least we can talk about Holloway versus Oliveira, because that is definitely a fight that we need to talk about. So we'll do that Tuesday, and that will be the season ending.
I mean, why don't we just talk about the main event and the co-main? Holloway and Oliveira and RDR and Barral. Yeah.
I mean, we can add a third one. I mean, we've done 3 and talked that gave out way tons of bets. It's only been an hour.
Bro,
so
we got Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson.
I know.
I love that fight.
Yeah, because as we were just talking about Michael Johnson's going to do that Philly show, but Drew Dober helped prove our chat that one day wrong when he got that knockout. So I can see
that fight.
Yeah, that's going to be a banger. I mean, I don't know if Dober's got the power to finish Johnson. I don't think Johnson will let him get through.
But Johnson has the style to just beat up Dober.
He does because Dober bleeds like a he bleeds easy, and so I think that'll probably be a distance, but I'm gonna have me some knockout on that. So
dude, I love that fight. I love that fight.
I do. It sucks that I wish so it's cool that that's something I wanted to talk about, try to get that out. So then that way we'll take that time off, and then I don't know if I'll be able to do the review podcast. I won't be able to move. I really won't be able to bend over and stuff. If I can do something easy, I'll make it happen. If I feel good, I'm an athlete. Maybe I'll feel better faster. But I mean, from what I hear from hernias, sometimes you get that twitch in the nut, and I'm not going to do stuff that's uncomfortable. So, but by that Thursday, we should be good for the season 9 premiere of the Fight Club of Pain. So whenever it happens during that week, that will be the season 9 premiere of season 9. Bring the
that would be what the 14th.
Yeah. So that's going to be
14th. We got Josh Emmett and Vallejos and Lemos versus Robertson.
Ooh.
And not much else.
Cutelaba and Omar Saad. I mean,
and
say the Bailey and Delgado fight will be nice.
Yeah, I mean, we don't got much else, but we could also do a recap of 326.
Yeah. Unless we do, if I feel good on that Tuesday, maybe we'll do it. We'll play it, but yeah, if nothing happens, we'll recap 326, and then we'll roll into this card. That I actually prefer because you get Charles Johnson against Bruno Silva, and that's he just got knocked out not long ago, so that's actually a pretty good fight. And then Sam Hughes and Pierre Rodriguez, Elijah Smith and you, I don't really see it. So
Lacerda and Sosa, that's not a bad one. But I'm not the rest of that card is kind of meh.
Yeah, so Harry Hardwick's back, and he's the one guy that got leg kicked to oblivion by Caio Fernandez.
Yeah,
so
if I was fighting him, I would just come out and just leg kick him.
Yeah, we already know his legs are weak. So
yeah,
Marlon,
you just leg kick him into oblivion.
Marlon Racchi, this is going to be his debut fight against him. He's 1-0 so far in his career. So there's a good chance that he's going to be able to get. People might be out there and be like, "Oh, Harry Hardwick might get a win." When these numbers come out, I think Harry Hardwick's going to be a plus 500 because immediately.
Where did Rahaki come from?
I cannot answer that. I cannot answer that.
Where did he fight at?
Does he sound familiar?
He sounds familiar. Maybe he was on PFL or something.
So it's freaky. He's out of Australia, and let's get it right here. Boom, Sherdog. He's official Sherdog. There it is. Yeah, he's 7-0. He's got 7 wins. And Dana White Contender Series. So he had that week 10. And then he was in Beatdown Promotions HFS, which is Hex Fight Series. And then Super Fight MMA, Eternal MMA.
Oh, yeah. So Harry Hardwick's knocking him out.
Oh. Harry Hardwick for the win, people.
Harry Hardwick is knocking him out.
Dude, that's crazy. I can't wait. His knockout's probably plus 5,000. I'm taking it.
Probably.
I'm taking it. All right, brother, man. Thanks a lot for coming on again. We had another great show. I almost think you almost left the show after I said that whole skit.
Oh man, stop saying Penis's name.
I know, man. Poor Damien. That guy, man, forever, unfortunately shamed.
Man, you had me crying.
I got you bent over. You almost, like I said, you almost had to leave, bro. You almost had to leave.
You had me crying on that one.
That was insane, bro. All right, well, Have a great day, everybody. And always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.